So in this video training tutorial, we're looking at the paint bucket. And we use the paint bucket to fill object with colors and to fill selections with colors. Okay. Now let me show you how the paint bucket works. You can use the pencil tool and the paint brush to accomplish the same thing, except the paint bucket it will accomplish the job faster. For example, let's take the marquee tool and let's make a selection. Okay, now I could take my paint bucket tool, click on paint bucket, and before I click on paint bucket, know that the shortcut to the paint bucket is the letter G. Okay, let's get our notes. Okay, let's say paint bucket. Okay, shortcut is G. Okay, so to get to the paint bucket, we use a G. And also under the paint bucket, you have the gradient tool. It's under the paint bucket. Okay, it's under the paint bucket option. Okay. Okay, so if I click and hold the paint bucket right here, you'll see the gradient tool. Okay, so we have the paint bucket, and I just come over this selected, with the marquee, this selected area, boom, and there I go. It filled in that selection. Let's hold down the control and hit the letter D. That's to deselect or to get rid of the selection, okay? So now, say if I wanted to, let's go to our background. Let's change our background to white. Okay. Now, we have the eraser tool, right? Now, say I take away some of that. Let's get our paint bucket. Watch this. This is what I like about the paint bucket. Let's click in there, and it actually covers that up. Hold on, Control Z. Let's get a lighter shade of blue so we could see the differentiation. Okay, boom, there we go. Let's get our eraser tool, make another line, make this darker, paint tool, paint bucket, boom. See, so what the paint bucket is actually doing is it's going in that area that you have cleared out or you've erased, and it's filling it in with the selection. Let's go here. Okay, now paint bucket, boom. See, it took all of this because we had it open right here. Go ahead, Control Z, back up. Let's Control Alt Z. Okay, now let's do it again, but this time let's get Control Z. We're right at the edge. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now get the paint bucket and fill it in, and it doesn't go all over the canvas or all over our image size, and it will just fill up that which we have selected by way of the eraser tool. Okay, the paint bucket. We could do so many things with the paint bucket. I love the paint bucket because you can also fill in gradients depending on your foreground and your background, what the foreground and background is. For example, hold down the paint bucket tool and click on gradient, and notice we have a gradient. Let's take a selection, another selection right here, and then take our gradient tool, and let's just click and hold and drag up and let go, and see how it gives the gradient of the two colors. It's taking the foreground and the background. Let's hold down Control D to deselect. There we have that. And all of this, if you look over to the right, it's in the one layer. I haven't changed layers. Now I can change layers to start stacking layers on top of layers, and then I could easily turn off and on those layers to reveal or to hide those selections and or those things that I'm doing with the paint bucket. Okay, the fills that I'm doing with the paint bucket. Okay, let's go back over to the paint bucket. Okay, and let's get rid of all of this. Let's just open up a new document. Save, no. New, okay, there we go. Let's pull this out here. Okay, there we go. Okay, now, just like in some of the other video tutorials I showed you with the color modes or the modes, we could take the paint bucket and we could do some type of blend mode. We could do a fill. For example, let's see. Let me take the. I could fill with the foreground, or I could fill with a pattern. Let's take a pattern. Click here, and here are our patterns. Let's take that and fill it. Okay, that's fine. Okay, now what we could do is we could go back to foreground, and we can blend with our mode. We could blend, say multiply, and we could take this color with the paint bucket. Click there, and what happens is it kind of blends. Let me hold down Control Alt Z. Get rid of that. Let's take the whole selection. Let's select it all like this. Okay. Okay, let me show you a couple more tools with the paint bucket, options rather, with the paint bucket, and that is the tolerance and the contiguous and all layers. Let me open up this window. Where is it? Here we have it. Okay, I have this little design here. Matter of fact, I'll save it in a minute. Okay, let me explain tolerance, and I'll go into anti-alias in a little bit, but contiguous is selecting a color. Say I want to select this color. I want to fill in this color. Okay. If it's not connected, it's just going to fill in what's connected. So, in other words, this foreground color I have the paint bucket selected. I click here, and it's going to select all of the same color. But say I want this color selected too, or this is the same color, but I want it selected too. Let's go ahead and Control Z out of that, back out. What I could do, if I hit contiguous, or I take the check off, then I click it, then it clicks, or it selects all of the colors, or all of the color that's the same, and it will fill it in. Okay, let me hold down a Control and a Z. Now let me show you something right here. This color right here is kind of different from this color. It's a different shade. So because I have the tolerance so high, I have the tolerance at 32, it's going to select it all. Okay, so let's take the tolerance down to, say, 20. And then, okay, the tolerance is still too high. Let's take the tolerance down to, let's say, 10. And this should do it. Okay, there we have it. See, it's only getting that which is the exact same. If you notice, this is a little bit different. So That's why it's not selecting that, or it's not in the selection. It's not part of the selection. Okay. So when you want to select all of the same color, just make sure you take this check mark off of this box contiguous, and then it will select those that are of the same hue. Otherwise, you just have to go one at a time and select it like that. Okay. Control Alt Z, 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 Z. Okay. Um, that's that on that. Let me get my paint bucket tool again. Okay, so let me show you this last part of the option for our paint bucket, the all layers. I'll show you how that works. It's pretty neat. Let me open up, get this image right here. Okay, here we go. Our superhero mouse. Okay, now say we want to take this yellow, or we want to change the color. We want to, right now, let's take it, let's find us a good, nice green. Okay. Okay, so what we'll do is go ahead and make a new layer. Make a new layer. And if we take our paint bucket and click on the yellow, it's going to fill the entire layer. You see there? Okay, Control Z. Okay, so what we want to do, if we click all layers, what it's going to do, it's going to look through these layers and it's going to find the color and it's going to fill just that color. For example, watch this. Boom. There it is. As simple as that. And if you look over here, you see that it's filled just that area. Let's turn off this layer. There we have it. Okay, turn it back on. And this is good. So if we wanted to change this color later, we could just go through and we could change the hue or the saturation and the other options here just on this layer to get other colors. Let's get the, okay, there we have it. Okay, that's pretty neat, huh? Okay, so that's all we did was click on the all layers. Okay, and let's choose another layer. Take another layer and let's take another color. Yellow. There we go. Okay, now this time let's go for the, I don't know how this is going to work. Let's see. I have to go in there twice. Okay, there we go. To get the hands or the gloves. Okay, that's pretty good. Let's get the belt too. Wow, we're just changing Mighty Mouse or Superhero Mouse all the way around. And that's all we have to do is click on the layer, turn it off and on to get our original. That's hot, isn't it? Okay. All right. Well, that's it for our color bucket, our paint bucket, color bucket. Okay. So, thanks for visiting or watching this video training tutorial. And again, I will see you soon in some of our other video training tutorials. Bye for now.